So we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem to answer this problem, which is going to result in a radical. So the directions say find the length of the unknown side of each triangle, give the exact length and approximate length. So the reason this is going to be a Pythagorean theorem problem is you're going to use this theorem if you're given two sides and you're looking for the third side. So we have all sides here. We see that the hypotenuse across from the 90-degree angle is 17 radical 5. We see that one of the legs is 5, and these are all in meters. So we are looking for this other leg. So Pythagorean theorem, some people memorize it as a squared plus b squared equals c squared. There's no context there. So I like writing it as one leg squared plus the other leg squared equals the hypotenuse squared. This way they don't have to be labeled A, B, C to know what you're doing. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to write essentially a quadratic function, which is going to result in some kind of radical in here. So we have a leg, let's say this bottom leg first, x squared plus the other leg, 5 squared, and this is going to equal the hypotenuse, which is 17 radical 5 squared. So we have a radical inside an equation, but it's kind of, it's a lie. It's going to go away. So we have x squared plus 25 equals, and now we're squaring 17 because this is 17 radical 5 times 17 radical 5. So that's going to give us 289 radical 25. Square root of 25 is 5. So when you multiply that by 5, we get 1,445. So x squared plus 25 equals 1445. So it's really not a quadratic, or it's not a radical equation at all. It's really a quadratic. We subtract 25. So x squared is equal to 1,420. And then we do square roots. So x equals radical 1,420. So the problem's asking for an exact length, which means it wants your answer in radical form. So that's what we're going to do first. So this square root, we can actually simplify. 4 goes into it. So it's going to be 4 and then radical 355. So the simplified exact length answer is going to be 2 radical 355 meters, because that's the length that we're given. So that would be the exact length, because that radical is going to give you a decimal. The directions are also asking for an approximate length. That is going to be your decimal. So your approximate is going to be you actually using a calculator and figuring out what this decimal is. That's going to be 37.68. 288 is going to keep going. But the next number is 2, so let's round to the 100th just to make it easier. That 2 is going to round down to 0, so we can actually get rid of that. And the units are going to be meters. So there's your exact length, there's your approximate length, and Pythagorean theorem.